All right, hello. So I'm a Cosmic Otaku, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Hoodweebs, right? Or Hoodweebs is probably not the accurate term for this, but, you know, anime tourists who like to morally grandstand and should be humiliated at every point and opportunity they get, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to look at what Kirsche and SmugAlana have to say about this, and by proxy, Dev, because I think they all bring up really good points. And I do have a couple things to add myself, right? So let us begin.
New York just banned online sales.
Oh wait, shit, that's the wrong one. This is the one I'm looking for.
This guy said, threatening to beat someone up for watching Madoka Magica is completely sending me. I don't know how we've gotten to the point where people claim to be fans of anime and have never heard of, like, Haruhi, and then try to, like, yell at people who talk about Haruhi, and now Madoka Magica is, like, for pedophiles or some shit. Like, what the fuck is happening?
These people literally don't know shit about, like, hello, Kionella. Yeah, these people don't know anything about, like, the moe art style, right? Kawaii to them is just pedophilia masked. These are, oh, I should probably not cover Kirsche. These are, like, not innocent people. These are people with evil aspirations. And, if you do not recognize evil aspirations, you know, when you have the opportunity to, bad things tend to happen, right? And yes, if you want to keep the anime community, you might have to engage in a little bit of gatekeeping. I have a little short video that'll release soon that I made a commentary about that from something Chibi Reviews said. To answer your question, Kionella, a hoodweeb is specifically, it's like again, embrace the fox, right? A hoodweeb is a shonen only watcher, right? The only thing that they're really familiar with is like Dragon Ball Z, you know, things like that, My Hero Academia, the standard, again, like God knows how many episodes, just like constantly striving for power kind of anime. There's nothing wrong with those anime, but they do sometimes attract a very specific niche of people that don't care about anime in particular. And a lot of them come from the same place, indicated by, you know, the hood part of the hoodweeb, right? There was a term coined, I think, by Chibi Review. I don't know if he coined the term or if it preceded him and then he just made it more popular. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, those pathetic weebs, exactly, right? So... And again, this guy is about to act like a total fucking hoodweeb, and I think people need to be directly challenged when they say shit like this, because this is like the most pathetic posturing I've seen in a long time. The literal definition of a virtue signal. No, it's not the power scaling cringe. I do power scaling. No, not that kind of stuff. Hoodweebs are that. They're the kind of people that Chibi Reviews gets into fights with all the time, right? They have a very myopic view of anime. They say that they're anime fans, but they only watch like maybe 2 or 3 anime, and they're all the same genre. They're like, again, the shonen battle anime and manga, and you know, appeals to the very simple-minded. Not that there's anything wrong with shonen per se, but it's like, again, when you have people who just want to become popular or want to enter into the popular thing because anime is now popular instead of cringe, you know, those people. Again, a lot of these people come from poor communities, oftentimes the hood, which is why, again, the hoodweeb thing.
You are a fucking chomo.
Yep. No, Zipper, can you pull Madoka Magica?
What are you getting into?
People are getting way too comfortable without any kind of personal consequences, throwing around the accusation of pedophilia and like chomo. To anyone who doesn't know what a chomo is a slang term from the South meaning child molester. It basically means nonce, as in like you know, the equivalent to that the English would say nonce for. So it is a severe accusation. And this is actually quite revealing, by the way. Smug points this out, but this is also like the first thing I thought when I saw this was just like, so your first thought when you see someone likes Madoka Magica is that he must be a chomo. The only way that makes sense is if you can't conceive of someone enjoying a program without furiously masturbating to it. And that tells me a lot about you as a person, to be perfectly honest, right? Like, if you're gonna accuse someone for watching an anime with no sexual content in it whatsoever, because let's be fair, Madoka Magica does not have sexual content in it, right? That's not the focus of the horror of the show. And then your whole thing is like, oh yeah, you must be a pervert because you like this. Then as far as I'm concerned, I think you might very well end up on the reset the clock, right? I have a very strong suspicion that the lady doth protest too much, right? It seems like an admission veiled in an accusation. Hello, Kura. Kionello says, I love DBZ and Naruto and Bleach, but I also love Sailor Moon, and I've seen Madoka. Exactly. There's nothing even remotely loliconish in, like, Madoka Magica, like, at all. Right? The closest thing you could get in theory is like maybe the transformation sequences, but that's like a staple of female anime. Oh, the chat is updating fast. Damn, right? Fair enough. Yeah, I think I got the what do you call it? The latency down on most of these channels. Keanu says magical girl transformations are awesome and pretty. Yeah, they're supposed to be, right? Most magical girls are aimed at, like, series are aimed at, girls from the ages of 7 to 18. It really depends on what series you're talking about, right? Most of them are shoujo manga and shoujo anime, right? And so, like, the bodily transformation is kind of, like, nested into the magical girl genre because guess what? It's a thing that the girls that are watching the show are going to be going through themselves, right? So, it's not that fucking complicated. But these, again, idiots, and I don't think these people are idiots. I think these people are objectively evil. Because, again, they're saying because this guy likes Madoka Magica, which is a great series, by the way, right? Like, is it a little bit overrated? Yes, in the sense that, like, it has way too much of a disproportionate impact for its time on anime. But just because something overrated, that doesn't mean it's not great. It is a great show, right? It just means that the impact it had was disproportionate to, like, what it was actually doing. Hold on. There are some that are. You mean insta puberty? Yeah. I mean, that's even a joke in, like, Western magical girl shows, right? Where you had, like, in Witch, where it's like these girls transform in Witch the first time, and Halen looks behind her because she's got wings. Like, what do we have behind us? And Cornelia looks in front. She's like, what do we have in front of us? Right? I mean, it's a funny scene, to be perfectly honest, right? But it's like, yeah, insta puberty, right? But you can tell these people don't actually watch anime. They only started watching anime when fucking COVID forced them inside and they had nothing to fucking do, right? But I think people who make these accusations so flippantly need to be called out for being how evil they are, right? Because last time I checked, right, you don't even have to be religious to understand this, but last I checked, let's turn to the good book, right? The good book is very clear that he who makes a false allegation that results in detrimental effects to the accused is to be punished in the same way that the accused would have been punished if they were found to be guilty of the crime, right? And when you call someone a chomo or a pedophile, you are attempting reputation destruction, and sometimes it works, right? And so then we also turn to what the Bible says about chomos, right? And the Bible says very clearly that he who scandalizes a child, it would be best for him to be taken out into the middle of the sea, to have a rope tied around his neck to a stone, and for the stone to be cast overboard, right? So I'm just saying, the wood chipper calls not just for the chomo, but for the person who falsely accuses another of being a chomo. Kura says, man, wonder what they'd say about my favorite dark comedy, Sayona Zetsubo Sensei, right? Oh yeah, fair enough. But that whole thing is like, you say your favorite anime is, like, again, something completely wholesome or something dark but not sexual, and their first reaction is, oh, you must goon to that. You can immediately tell that this is a person who can't fathom watching something without furiously masturbating to it. Because, like, if they could imagine that, if they could imagine doing those two things not being related to each other, then it wouldn't be that hard of a conception to get together. It's like, oh yeah, he watches this, but he doesn't goon to it. Right? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Do that for
I'm
us.
just
The child
asking
is
a question.
1,000 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
never
That's what we
know.
always do, and we always make excuses for these fucking people.
Can I?
This is also a thing where it's like, I'm very clear that, like, again, if you want to fix a lot of societal problems, put the people who cannot tell fantasy from reality into the box. Don't make me refer to that stupid French painting, of the painting of the pipe, which says in French at the side of it, this is not a pipe, right? Yeah, it's true, right? That's not what it is. There's actually, hold on. I'll see if I can find it, but I think I actually have something in my my response folders on this exact issue. But I'll see if I can find it later.
Can I just say that it's really ironic that the guy here who has the most, like, pedophilic physiognomy is the one calling people pedophiles for enjoying Madoka Magica? I just want to point out that little hilarious piece of instance here. The other guy's like, yeah, pull it up, let's go, it's a great show. They're gonna make pedo as meaningless as Nazi? What do you mean going to make? I feel like they already have. Okay,
so by the way, I think that's the goal, right? So there's two goals here, and there's two different actors in this particular thing about reducing by the way, hello Fushizi, by making the word pedophile as like a ubiquitous insult. So the first one is the spellcasters, who are aware that now calling someone a Nazi or calling someone a a fascist or a sexist or a racist or a white nationalist doesn't hit the same way as it used to, right? They've used the spell on things that didn't actually apply so often that the spell has lost its power. So now they have to default to another spell, and so now the spell is, oh, you're a chomo, you're a nonce, you're a pedophile, right? Regardless of whether or not that's true, they just say it because they know it will damage you and your reputation, and they know it will highly offend you, right? As it should highly offend you, because it's a severe accusation, which, by the way, fascist, Nazi, those are severe accusations to anyone who knows what those worldviews are. But when you use it outside of context, you obliterate the meaning. So there is the spellcaster side of this, and this person is using it in the spellcaster manner. There's another contingent of this, again, liberalize this word to the point it loses all meaning, where they're actively trying to destroy the meaning of the word. Because, as we've seen, for example, with that TED Talk and other people, especially people in the queer theoretic literature, there are movements to destigmatize pedophilia. And one of the ways you can do that is by taking away the power of the word. So there are two different factions who both benefit from falsely calling people these horrendous things. They're doing it for opposite reasons, but they both get a short-term benefit from doing so, and they should be called out for it. So let me catch up with the chat. Fushizi says, fuck it, I'm just going to start throwing stones even if I'm a sinner. Keanu says, at who? Yes, fair enough. Philip says, are people reverting to chimpanzees gooning to everything? Well, considering, again, this person, not Kirsche, but the person in the video, said that someone's a pedophile for watching Madoka Magica, it does seem that again, the ability to watch something without gooning seems disconnected. That would require working neurons. I mean, that's entirely fair, right? Keanu says, do it if you like glass shards everywhere then. Yay, the comfy floor covering. So
this weird conglomerate of people that act exactly like the Twitter freaks calling everyone a Nazi, except they do it with pedo instead.
Okay, so just tell me.
Right. So what are we doing?
Images. I'm just asking if Puella Magi Madoka Magica would count for this category you're talking about.
If I meet somebody, if I start a new job and my coworker says this is his favorite anime, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you after work.
Just for
So first of all, if someone were to tell me this at work, I would immediately go to the boss and tell them that I'm being threatened by a coworker, right? I would immediately go and do that, because this is highly unprofessional. This is creating an unsafe work environment, right? There are so many issues already pulled up with this. Second of all, this is a good argument for not allowing workspaces to not allow weapons on the premise, right? Because if I'm getting jumped, I don't know who the fuck is jumping me, right? So it's if I'm of the opinion that if you get randomly jumped by someone, you should have the authority to shoot them. Right? I don't know what the fuck is going on here. This guy's just randomly attacking me. I don't know if he has a knife on him. Right? That would stop a lot of these. And this is the thing. This kind of behavior disgusts me, because this kind of moral grandstanding is the most virtue signally thing that you could imagine. Right? Because this person does not stand on principle. He does not stand on business. And you'll see this in the video. As soon as he gets any kind of pushback, he folds like a fucking chair. right? So it's like he doesn't believe in a goddamn thing he's saying. God, I hate these people. Let's see. Fushizi means, I mean, why would I throw a rock inside the glass? Go somewhere else. Oh yeah. You're the type to TP a house, ain't you? No, TP is valuable. I wouldn't waste it. Don't fight in the chat, right? If y'all are playing, that's fine, but don't fight in the chat, right? Presumably everyone's just fucking around, right? Oh shit, okay, that was the wrong button.
Enjoying the show. He's not even like, yeah, I jerk off to that every night, but just enjoying the show, buddy. What the
I mean, even if he did, that's still a disproportionate reaction. And again, it's not even fucking what was implied in the conversation.
What? What is wrong with you?
We're gonna kill you, man.
Wouldn't do that.
Again, it's like these people are very, very threat happy. And to be perfectly honest, these people, they read as someone who's never actually been punched in the face, to be perfectly honest, right? Because it's like you see, again, it's like you see people who've actually had to fight in their life, and it's like oftentimes these people are like, yeah, I don't actually want to fight, right? Because they have nothing to prove. These people have something to prove, right? There's a machismo that's being lacked here, right? They lack the certainty of their own masculinity to actually just, again, have some degree of tolerance for, again, things that they dislike. Oh my god.
Shit by the dumpster.
We're gonna turn the water up slowly until
They do know you can watch a show without jacking off to it. I don't think they do. I don't think he does know that you can watch a show without getting sexually aroused, which is kind of concerning. I was a Redditor with casual violence as a way to relate to others.
you don't notice it's boiling.
I'd talk to them less.
It's a good show.
It is a good show. I fucking cried when I watched it, man. I fucking cried watching Madoka Magica.
I mean, yeah. I think, again, anyone who's ever actually watched Madoka Magica is like, you know, I can't think of a single person that I know who watched Madoka Magica who was like, it wasn't a good show. It's like they may say it was overrated in the sense that, like, again, the effect it had on anime was disproportionate to its quality, right? But you could say that about most things that get really popular and then get a bunch of copycats, to be perfectly honest, right? It's not that they are, like, actually bad. It's just that, like, again, the effect is disproportionate to, like, what they actually did. But let's see. We aren't fighting. We're just playing a cosmic. Okay, fair enough. I thought that was the case. I just wanted to make sure, right? Philippe says it's for a dopamine hit or what? Well, I mean, these people probably like feel better about themselves, you know, standing up for drawings. To be perfectly honest, right? But you know, again, as that French, actually, Philippe, you might actually remember this. What's that? Because I can't remember what the French painting was where it's like, this is not a pipe. But it's like, that's my response to any time someone brings this stuff up. It's like, no, it's not. This is one of the few times the postmodernists actually have a salient point. Keanu says, a lot of people like those boys say that just to look to... That's my point. It is stolen valor. It is absolutely virtue signaling, like, right? They're virtue signaling their courage and their moral purity, but it's all fake and hollow, right? It's all appearances over essences. Let's see. Fushigi says, I've never seen Madoka Magica. I would suggest it. Okay, so... The movies, the first two movies are basically a condensation of the 12 episodes into, again, 2 films. So it's kind of like it's kind of like the highlights of the show, not the entire series. So yeah, the series is the first two movies are a retelling of the series. The third movie is a sequel to both, if you will. Manet. Fair enough. Hold on. Where the fuck did I put my file? I should have probably had this open before I started this.
I like how the show subverts the usual Maho Shoujo tropes. You must be a pedo. Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well, it doesn't really subvert the tropes, right? It just plays them to a different, like, conclusion. So that's a lot of what Madoka Magica does. A lot of the series just play the same tropes, and the tropes themselves aren't bad. They just lead them to a different conclusion than they would normally lead to in like other people's stories. Renee Maguirette, I don't speak French. That's always going to be a bit of an issue with me pronouncing it. Fushizi says, I've never been into magical girl stuff, but I completely understand why it exists. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the target for most magical girl stuff is, like, again, girls, mostly teenage girls, right?
Okay.
Why is that? When is that ever a good enough reason?
You are a fucking chomo.
Methinks the lady doth protest a bit too much.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with Kirsche here. I have a sneaking suspicion, given this interaction, that I don't know, someone might appear on the reset the clock, website. I gotta maybe I should put that in like the description of this video, right? Reset the clock, so people can see just how often people who virtue signal this way turn out to be the very chomos they say that like anime watchers are. Because there's a startling correlation between people who don't have a particular religious reason to oppose it, coming out this hard against it, to be perfectly honest. Keanu says, I love the cat thing. I forgot its name, but it's basically an alien lawyer. Oh, Cube.
He's really going hard at this. And also, who is this guy here? He kind of looks like a dollar store Mr. T Lexify. Another labyrinthian Foxu reference. Does this look like something a Zoomer alcoholic Mormon bodybuilder man would watch? Because that's the only exposure I've gotten.
Yeah, no, that's my exact point, right? It's like and actually, I think I said that earlier. Earlier was like, yeah, I want this guy's hard drive to be checked because it's like the correlation is so strong, right? That is like, I mean, does everyone who does this have that issue? No, I mean, obviously not. But it is such a recurring theme that to pretend as if it's not actually the case would be a little bit disingenuous, right? So I am going to hold on. I'm going to put this image on Twitter. That way I can do this without showing anyone the name on my computer, because I don't want to dox myself, right? Ooh, card captors just popped up immediately in my feed, right? Okay, so let's post this. Check, I gotta type for stream. Lol. Alright. So now I can just move this over here. Alright, this is my position on the whole fucking lolly question, to be perfectly honest, right? It is real simple. It's the same position I have with the Shota question. I've talked about this before. It's my position on just art in general. Ceci inest pa une enfant, right? This is not a child, very simply, right? Card Captor, yeah, another Card Captor fan, right? Yes, I love Card Captor Sakura. It was one of my I grew up with the Nirvana Card Captors adaptation, which is fun, but the original version is actually significantly better, to be perfectly honest, right? Let's see. Keanu says those who scream the loudest are the most guilty of what they are screaming of. Yeah, because it's like there's two reasons for this, right? It's because either they don't like it about themselves, so and it's hard to change this about yourself. So then instead of taking the effort to change the thing about yourself you don't like, you thrust it upon someone else. That way you can attack that thing and make yourself feel as if you're the good guy by attacking the thing you don't like about yourself, but never actually committing to resolve to the problem, right? Or it's because you're actually guilty of that thing and you're trying to deflect attention away from you by being the biggest, the loudest voice against it. Because it's like, surely if I'm screaming about this thing, then no one will think that I'm actually doing it. Even though, again, pattern recognition tells us, again, as you said, those who scream about it the loudest are often the most guilty about it. Fushizi says, Lamau, I never changed the name of my PC anyway from owner. Neither did I, but I don't want to risk it, right? Like, I don't want to risk it. We did just see that I released a song for Pride Month, which was very much an attack on the underlying, dualistic and idealistic assumptions of the trans and queer ideology. And we also remember that I released a diss track against Allah, right? And I wrote a song making fun of the socialist end of history. So and all three of these groups tend to be very kill happy sometimes, right? So it's like, yeah, personally, I just rather not risk it, right? I live in Texas. I have the right to defend myself. I have the tools to defend myself. I just don't want to have to bother, to be perfectly honest. Right? Unlike the other guys where it's like, oh yeah, post up, let's do this. I'm like, I'd rather just avoid the entire fucking situation. Right? So, all right. But SmugAlana also had a lot to say about this, to be perfectly honest. Fushizi says, hold on. Keanu says, the first anime that is a green-eyed brunette like me. It's so rare to see. The second, it's Lita from Sailor Moon. Sailor Jupiter, right? I'm not familiar with their English names. Let's see. Fushizi says, "Oh shit, I got to do that too. I need to pride." Goddamn, right? You need to diss pride, right? Fushizi, have you actually seen the song? Because if not, I can send it to you. All right, so now we're gonna get onto the another anime tourist finds out. Smug also had a lot of things to say that I actually generally agree with, but I think there's a couple things that could be said more so. Because again, I'm going to pause this. People keep saying these people are dumb. I disagree. I don't think you can falsely accusing someone of being a child molester or a pedophile is a serious accusation. If you falsely accuse someone of doing that and you know you're doing and falsely accusing them, I don't think you're dumb. I think you're objectively evil, and I think you need to be put in the box. Right? That's my opinion, right? Because again, like, my position is that if you falsely accuse someone and you successfully damage their reputation, knowingly falsely accuse them, right? Then what would have happened to them if they had been found guilty? So we're talking about, like, even if they're not actually found guilty, right? You go to court and it's found out that you're a fucking liar. Then what would have been done to them should be done to you, right? This is just, and again, I already outlined what like a biblical approach to that would be. The millstone calls for the neck of both the pedophile and those who would falsely accuse others of being a pedophile. The wood chipper beckons. Let's see. Fushizi says either that or drop a song called For Pride and make it exclusively about men's mental health. Oh my god, that's actually such a fucking brilliant idea. Kionella says your songs are always bangers. Thank you. Make it about men's health till it'll make the they-thems rage more. You're not wrong.
Anime tourism final boss just got exposed. Let's do it.
I will also say it's like there's nothing wrong with having a casual interest in anime, right? But like if you're gonna have like I'm accidentally covering up Smug. If you're gonna have like a genuine opinion about anime, you should probably be more invested in the subject matter than just straight up being a tourist, right? Imagine going to Japan and being like, yes, these things about Japan I don't really like. You should change these things. It's like, first of all, motherfucker, you don't live here, right? You were visiting here. And I say this because this is exactly what happened in fucking comics. And you see this exact same thing happen in comics where these retards who don't understand anything about the subject matter then get in and they have their own personal opinion. I remember back in the day when when Supergirl, Girl of Steel, so that's like the post-Crisis on Infinite Earth's retelling of the Supergirl story, like was unearthed by the fucking internet. And it was like, why did they have to make Supergirl naked in this scene? And it's like, because not all art is literal, you fucking idiot. Oftentimes, decisions are made for symbolic value. And in this case, she is literally being reborn on Earth. This is a second birth, right? This is her landing on Earth for the first time. There is actually a semiotic and narrative reason for this, right? And just because you're a gooner and you don't understand that nakedness is not always sexual does not mean that you have it. Oh my god, again, it's one of those times where it's like people tell on themselves. God, I hate these people. But anyway. So, Okay, so it was Sailor Jupiter. Yeah, I know Sailor Jupiter by Makoto. I didn't realize. I was like, wait, which one's Lita? I had to think about that one for a moment. Let's see. Philippe says the wording of your most recent songs are so on point, Otaku. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have I have to fight with the AI to generate these lyrics sometimes. But like I have to pile in a lot of research in order to actually get these lyrics to the way that they are. It's not that like any of these songs are like, oh, like scholarly level. It's like just like, no, if I want the AI to actually develop the lyrics the way I want it to, I have to give it like I have to give it a significant prompt in order to get the thing that I'm actually looking for, because otherwise it'll fight me on the issue. Keanu says, I'm a filthy casual with anime, but I still respect anime and the country they came from. Again, Philippe says, don't hide them puppies. Well, I mean, fair enough, right? I wouldn't want to personally, right? But yeah, that's how you like should. Like, if you're a casual in a medium or like in a community, then the appropriate thing to do is to, again, respect the fact that you are a casual, enjoy the medium as a casual, right? The people who are significantly more invested will be the ones significantly more invested, but because we let casuals have an equal say, and because we had tourists allowed to have an equal say in the discourse, it just led to, again, a more hostile environment for everyone, because there's no vetting process of being like, wait, are you really an anime fan, right? Hello, Captain Rudy. Got it.
What is this? I'm ready. Oh, it's Jellywig. Oh.
Jellywig?
This clip has been going around anime Twitter. And in this clip, we have a very rare Ludwig dub. But it certainly is...
Alright. I'm going to have to apologize to both Rev and Hirohei, because apparently I misremembered who was actually involved in this. It was Hirohei, not Rev.
It's a W for Ludwig.
Okay, that's rare.
As he's talking to his friend on this podcast, his friend being this guy named Anthony Slime. Anthony Slime Bruno, I think is the full name. And this guy's known for being a creative director for Super Smash tournaments. So I already...
what are the odds, right? What are the odds? Captain Rudy says, are we watching everyone's favorite internet browser girl? Oh, the Firefox. That you had me for a moment. I was like, what the fuck do you want about? It's like, okay, it's a Firefox. Yeah, everyone's favorite internet browser girl.
a red flag there. And the guy, Slime, he goes off on
I'm tired of Anitubers. Not all Anitubers are bad. Some Anitubers are still really good. But I have been enjoying Nizu Tamari auditing Anitubers, because some of these people need to be fucking knocked down a peg.
Anime fans, particularly also fans of Madoka Magica.
Wait, that's like an old ass anime. I remember people watching it back.
No, I get why he's called Jellywig. But it feels kind of insulting the jellyfish. Okay, that was funny. I didn't realize that was a setup to a joke.
Like 2013 or something? Yeah, it's a decent anime. I haven't seen it, but I remember. Magical Girl anime, old? Yeah, it's 13 years old. I would count that as a pretty old anime, yeah.
Saying that they're chomos and that he's gonna beat them all up. Now in the clip, first of all, I've never heard anyone sound so soy saying the word chomo. It's like he's projecting. It's like he knows that he's projecting, and he's so.
But no.
Yeah, I think that's going to be most everyone's takeaway from this, is that this slime guy is, projecting, because again, the lady doth protest too much. But also, how fitting is it that his name is Slime, right? Just take a step back. How fitting is it that his name is Slime, of all things, right? Not to insult the slimes, but again, Captain Rudy says, by the way, did you see Denim's reaction to the video of Shu and Alana roasting Hassan? It was absolutely hilarious. I have not. 2013, old ass, apparently feel old yet, right? Oh my god. Someone who was watching cartoons back in the, an anime back in the 90s. I truly am ancient, right? Change his name to Sleazeball. You're right. because Gleeman is the true owner of the slime name, for he shall redeem the slimes. Right? Yes, sleazeball. Captain Rudy says, is slime related to leaflet? And you know what? There's another example of a slime that I forgot because I usually see her in a fey form. But you know what? You're right. His association with slime, therefore, in a very roundabout way, associates him with Gleeman and Leaflet, and this is unacceptable. He must be changed to Sleazeball.
No. Pause. But like, why are you mad at it? It's like a cute, relatively dark.
I was watching anime in the 80s. Fair enough, but I think we've already established that like you're older than me. To be fair, there are some good animes from the 80s. To be perfectly honest, right? Sometimes I like going back to see like some of the anime from before my time, and it's like, damn, this is good. Right? Sometimes it's not, but it's the same thing with like modern anime. It's like, damn, that's a good anime, or it's like, damn, that was ass, right? Prefer to pronounce slime as slarm. It's the slurm, right? Emotional.
Yeah, someone said it's a good psychological. Yeah, psychological. Yeah. You will see. Okay. I'm just confused.
Also, I looked up some more info about this guy, and I found an old episode Ludwig had with him like 5 years ago. Or not an episode, a video rather. And this same dude is wearing like a pizza shirt. So
that's funny. How old are you, a Cosmic? I was born in the 90s. I will leave it at that.
Instantly starts projecting about Madoka Magica. Nervous to say the word Chomo.
Well, I mean, I guess that if I was watching cartoons and anime in the 90s, that means I was born in the early 90s. So it's like, you know, again, critical thinking would have been able to narrow that down. So, yeah, I was born in the early 90s. Wait, what the? Oh, my keyboard just died. Luckily, there's an easy fix to that.
Here's a pizza shirt. Known for being a creative director for Smash tournaments.
Who cares?
I mean, the red flags are just flying off the charts with this guy. But here's the clip. Go ahead and take a look.
You are a fucking chomo.
Yep. No, Zipper, can you pull Madoka Magica?
What are you getting him to do that for?
What if the child is 1,000 years old?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we always do. And we always make
And I love how, like, in this case, Ludwig just does not give a shit. He just literally rolls his eyes like, oh, okay. He's like, these people are retards. Right? Literally. Kianala says, I'm older than you, yet you sound older. I mean, it happens sometimes, right? People definitely think I'm older than I actually am based on my face, to be perfectly honest. Until I shave, and then people think I'm younger than I am, right? But like unshaven, I look like a mujahideen, right? Actually, that was a running joke back when I was going to college. Was first of all, I have a bit of an ethnically ambiguous look, so people would sometimes I turn it into a guess because people would be like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Hold on, I want to see where you think I'm from." Right? And then some people would guess like again Spanish, some people would guess Arab, some people would guess other insert similar groups. And it's like, it was always interesting to see what they would pull up with, right? I never got offended by it. I always thought it was a fun game. Damn, Automod. Oh, fair enough. Kura says, people tell me I sound 50. I don't know how to feel about that. Really? 50? I wouldn't have said 50. Kianalo says, I was born in the 80s, yet I've been 22 since 5th grade. Fair enough.
Oh, we're mad at the drawing.
I actually, hold on, I just realized something. Like, Ludwig's first response, pull it up, right? He's literally trying to do a proof by demonstration, right? Like, you won't believe me if I say it, so we're just gonna pull it up. And then everyone's like, wait, why are we even entertaining this idea? They don't want... It seems like Rudy's having a bit of an issue in the chat. Hold on, let me. I'll see if I can find out what's going on. But these people are actually actively trying to prevent him from actually prove his case, right? Because the first time he's like, pull it up. They're acting like he's gonna try to pull up some kind of like ecchi anime or like some pornography on stream, which is like almost certainly not the case, right? You'd have to be again clinically retarded to think that's actually what they were trying to do. So. This is actively them trying to do preventing Ludwig from doing a proof by demonstration. I can't see what the auto mod is blocking, it seems. That's annoying. So yeah, this is actually worse than what I remembered. Kura says, well, to be fair, I do quote Abbott and Costello a lot. I mean, I have again movies from way before I was born. I have a physical copy of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, right? I don't exactly look like I come from the era of like black and white stop motion kaiju films. Kendall says, still 22, just had a... Interesting how that works, right? Philip says, 49 going on 25 myself. Fair.
Oh, you're a Super Smash organizer and you're mad at... Oh, I understand. And then you call people chomo.
How did you get the Super Smash Brothers insinuation and joke, but you didn't get the pizza joke? Right. I would have thought that the pizza joke would have been more obvious, as like this is what the joke is saying.
For those that don't know, it's a U.S. term. It's the equivalent of nonce in the U.K. He's calling him a predator, basically.
Oh, that's funny. So you're getting auto-modded for talking shit about denims. Oh my god. Again, Twitch being in the pocket of Hassan, you know, that conspiracy does seem a little bit more plausible as time goes on, right? Not in the pocket of Hassan as in, like, Hassan has control over it, but more along the lines of, like, you know, favoritism and all that stuff.
Basically, anyone that watches is a predator, which is not true.
Excuses for these fucking people.
What a tired... Okay, so just tell me...
Right. So
it's a Hispanic term. Yeah, it's offensive. It's a pretty offensive term, calling someone a chum.
Again, nothing that popped up is sexual, right? Nothing that popped up was sexual. This is all cute. This is all moe, right? There's not a single sexual thing on screen. And then they just continue with this narrative. Again, it's because these people aren't dumb. They are objectively evil. They know what they're saying is a lie. They are saying it because, again, they want this. They want access to power, you know, through these means.
Count for this category you're talking about.
If I meet somebody, if I start a new job and my coworker says this is his favorite anime, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you after work.
Yeah,
You're such a retard. Your response to someone watching something you don't like is to beat them up. Yeah, I think you should be locked up because you're getting so vehement. Like you're getting so mad you want to fucking get mad at them. Also,
yeah, again, it's like. This is one of the things where it's like, again, physical force is like antithetical to reason. You result. Oh my god. Yes, when people. This is another thing about, like, again, why being overly eager to perform violence is actually the mark of a very viceful personality, because reason is the life of man, right? All that man is. His relationship to God, his relationship to the world around him, his relationship to himself is mediated through the reason of man, right? To negate reason itself is to negate the very source and summit of the life of man. And again, violence, coercion, aggression is antithetical at nature to the reason of man, because you're taking away from the discourse of the mind to, again, brute, raw force. So again, people who do this are just objectively evil, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. These guys would ironically call Cuties a great show. I think ironically, I can't really judge them too much for this because I can't read their mind, right? And I'm not gonna go past a certain degree because of, you know, basic, you know, etiquette. But that being said, I did mention the reset the clock, did I not? Right? Let's see. Kyono says Hassan has plenty of pocket space with how ill-fitting his clothes are. He dresses like a little kid. Yeah, Catboy is an HR nightmare. You would think so. What would happen to me if I said I used to watch Sailor Moon? That's a good question, right? Well, what would they threaten me with if I told them I had literally the entire collection of Sailor Moon on DVD, right? Actually, I could probably do that worse. Hold on, let me look at. Hold on, because I actually can see my my collection of DVDs right here. Let's see, I have Kill la Kill. Let's see, Ryuko Matoi is like 16 years old. I have Cardcaptor Sakura. I have the entire collection. If I remember correctly, it's not sexual, but then again, neither is Madoka Magica. And like Sakura Kinomoto's in 5th grade, so it's like, the hell are we doing here, right? Let's see, what else is here? I'm pretty sure I have more of this. I have The Long Way North, not an anime, but, you know, it should, in theory, hold the same, you know, criteria. My Hero Academia. You know, I would imagine, again, all these characters are like 15 years old, right? Actually, some of the characters, they're about the same age as the characters in Madoka, if I remember correctly, right? It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? I have Lucky Star right there. This is another one that's like, just like an obvious pick. So it's like, yeah, what are we doing here, right? Are they going to complain about people liking Little Witch Academia? Well, what's going on, right? Again, these people are absolutely fools that are demanding you take them seriously. They'd see that you have Kamichu in your collection, and they'd be like, ah, yes, he's truly goon-brained. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Let's see. Kianolo says, you are a man of culture, but not to Catboy. Kura says, I think that they should be told Aisha was 9. Right? Let's see. Kianolo says, which version of Sailor Moon? That is a good question. I will find out that later. Captain Rudy says, it's not the Deke version. I can tell you that right now. Captain Rudy says, have you seen Sailor Moon Abridged? I have, but I'm not a big Abridged series fan, to be perfectly honest. Like, I get the joke, I just don't usually find them funny. Okay, so I found the things Rudy sent me that were auto-modded. So he sent, but perhaps my favorite part was when she said Hassan probably just saw me and went girl on the internet. Probably a whore, which isn't a bad guess. And Denims was fuming. Like, could you almost see the, like, you could almost see the steam coming out of her ears. Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up later. Oh, you got auto-modded thrice. Your auto-mod complaint got auto-modded? Good lord. But perhaps my favorite part was when shoot. Oh, wait, you tried to send it twice. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, he's just getting bodied. Newsflash, you can watch anime and not goon. PDF's most affected. Oh, right. Again, it's like, this is still a category error, right? It's like, to anyone who's been in the anime community, you know someone who has a predilection to lolicon. And a lot of these people are just objectively not pedophiles. They just prefer cartoons, right? And they don't see cartoons as analogous to reality. There is actually the understanding that cartoons and reality are not the same thing. And again, you look at the majority of people who write lolicon, and the majority of people who write shotokan are themselves women, right? And why is this? Well, it's because women have a bimodal sexual nature. Right? Again, like, you could either use sex as a survival tool or as a connective tool, right? It's a survival tool when things get really fucking bad, but it's a connective tool when you actually have the ability to choose your husband, right? So it's like, this is just a thing that is more, this is, again, it's just a lot of these people, when they write some of these stories, it's not what people think it is. It actually turns out that, like, you can write a story that can include elements that you don't necessarily agree with or are completely disconnected from reality. It's not that hard. Let's see. Captain Rudy says, but all Denims had to say during her reaction was that Alana's voice was so annoying that it was turning her into a misogynist. Alana roasts Hassan. Denims, oh my god, her voice is so annoying. Yeah.
Wouldn't you get mad at Ludwig? Because he just said, like, yeah, it's pretty alright, man. Like, what?
They're literally getting mad at Ludwig right now. Like, Ludwig just rolled his eyes and, like, shook his head. And then, like, all right, put it on, right? To prove a point. He is actively calling out these people in the most respectful way of being retarded. Right? It's like they are getting mad at him because he actively called them retarded without directly stating it. Kionala says all the lolly / shota stuff have the predator get their comeuppance. Yeah, the majority of this, not all of them. There are some of them, yeah, not all of them, but a lot of them do actually exactly that. A lot of them do have it turn out to be, again, the guy actually doing the, or the guy or the girl actually doing the crime get punished. But you can't really bring that up because people don't want to, like, actually deal with reality as it is. They want reality to conform to their idea of it, and they will filter out actively information against it. It was actually an interesting YouTube video, funny enough, by a YouTuber called Shotakun. Fucking interesting username, right? But he was actually, like, it was a gay man who was apparently molested as a child, and it left a lasting imprint on him. And he described why it is he actually used Shotokan, and it was effectively narrative, like, it was effectively like what they try to do in narrative therapy, and it's like that may be unwise because again, pornography may just be an unwise thing in general. But that being said, it's like it was kind of interesting to actually listen to him talk about it, right? And I was like, oh, interesting. This is exactly what I've heard about in psychology courses about this one theory about, like, again, how to get people to reframe their life through narrative. Now his channel's down. And I can't find that video anymore. It doesn't seem to be archived anywhere. If I can find that video, I will definitely do a react to it, just for like archival purposes. But also, it's just like it was fucking wacky. It was like you could not torture this information out of me, to be perfectly honest.
I'm gonna kill you, man.
Wouldn't do that. I'm gonna beat the shit out of by the dumpster.
We're gonna turn the water up slowly until you don't notice it's boiling.
I'd talk to them less.
It's a good show.
So what? Are you gonna beat up your friend?
Okay.
Yeah, but
Ludwig.
Okay.
Why is that? When is that ever a good enough reason?
Yeah.
Again, it's a good show. Why is it? When is that ever a good enough reason? What are you watching a show for if not because it's good? Right? I mean, come on. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you're are you watching shows intentionally that are not good? Right? Are you watching shows that you hate? Like, again, these people are retards.
Those two guys are like some of the...
That is actually a rare W from Ludwig for not caving into peer pressure and just saying, like, yeah, it's a good show. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed.
Least threatening people I've ever seen. Oh, we're gonna beat you up,
Yeah,
bro.
this absolute chud is gonna beat you up.
Oh, are you
Is
kidding
that
me?
jellying? Yeah.
And again, you can just look at these guys' physiognomy and it's like, yeah. I hate to say this about people because it sounds like I hate to say this about people, but this is really one of those things where it's like you've never been punched in the face. you could fucking see it on their face, right? Oh my god, I fucking hate it when people grandstand like this. Like, we're gonna beat you up, or you know what? Come fight me, bro. It's like, why? Who the fuck are you, right? Like, you are completely inconsequential in my life, right? My life would be the same before and after if I never had met you, right? It's like, who the fuck are you? Let's see. Kyonato says shonen can be considered slop anime with how repetitive it is, but it's entertaining. Who cares? Yeah, well, I mean, it depends too, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of Fairy Tail or like Seven Deadly Sins, but at the same time, it's like you can find some shonen that really does mix it up. Like Yu Yu Hakusho was definitely out of left field for its time. But yeah, I mean, formulas exist for a reason. The formulas work. People like these formulas. Philippe says content creators often do watch bad shows. That is true, but again, Ludwig's defense was it's a good show, and then their reaction is, when has that ever been a sufficient reason? The fact of the matter is that most people, even most content creators, watch shows because they like them. They watch the shows that they don't like in their off time because it's because that's they watch shows that they like on their off time, but they watch the shows that they don't like when they're on the clock because, again, this is how they make their money, because outrage culture, it does get clicks. People like to hear people bitch, to be perfectly honest. Kevin Rudy says, sent you a review video covering the Demon Crash Out over Alana. Oh, Rev, okay.
That's actually W.
Joke. It's always like this with people that make these sort of physical threats on the internet too. They're always like the most soy weak people.
No, really,
like, I train
it
with
truly
some seriously
is.
dangerous people, actual Muay Thai fighters, and they're so nice. They don't talk like that at all. Like, dude, miss us with your fronting. It is so fake.
Yeah, because these people have something to prove, but again, the people who've actually accomplished something don't. It's literally just that simple, right? Like, these people have accomplished nothing of physicality in their life, and so they have to do this thing where they post up. Whereas, like, people who've actually accomplished something physical in their life, they're like, what do I care, right? It's like, who are you to me? I don't give a shit about your opinion, right? And then these guys, again, it's like, well, again, like, well, I have to get physical. It's because they've never done anything physical in their life. They've actually never had to, again, deal with the consequences of them abusing their physical capacity. Kionato says rants are fun to listen to. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not going to say that there's not a reason to listen to rants. I would be a hypocrite if I said that, you know, I didn't do it, because I actually do listen to rants as well, right? I think we're listening to me literally complain right now, right? Philippe says, a react in a react in a react. Yeah, we do a reactception. How deep can the rabbit hole go, right?
And all
No, it's just virtue signaling. It's super fucking weird. I never understood this logic.
They can get physical with these nuts, fair enough.
Of all things.
It's not my favorite. I watched it once a long time ago, but it was dark. It had a good twist, multiple good twists. And again, I haven't seen it in a long time. I forget a lot of the characters' names, but the one girl with the black hair, when you find out what she's been going through to protect Madoka, like I said, it's dark and it's sad. It's a good show. I don't know why they're making it into some like creepy thing. You know what? I kind of do know why they're doing that. Like I said,
we all know what they do, because these people are gooners, and they feel bad about the fact that they're gooners, so then they actually have to make it to be where everyone else is a gooner. But it's like a lot... We need better gooners, to be perfectly honest. Remember the days when gooners could just goon, and then they wouldn't make it, one, their whole identity, and two, they wouldn't actually feel like, I gotta throw this off myself, right? I gotta project this onto someone else. They would just, again, be regular people. God.
in particular, slime. You know, it does come off like projection. But I don't have anything else to say about this that I haven't said already in the intro or just now.
That's
Good
so
job,
fucking
bro.
stupid.
Anime Tourist Greatest Warrior, Reddit Mods Greatest Warrior right there. You really are showing...
Again, it gives off Reddit mod imagery when people say things on Reddit and they're like, yeah, I'd beat up this person if I saw them in real life. Because they have disagreeing opinions from me. Say that to my face.
Okay, that growl was really cute. Very deep, yes, yes, Kianella. And actually, I have to agree with the Weeb crew here. Anime is mainstream. Too many normies like anime now. Normies. The problem is that the normies actually prove the point of the original quote. It's good o'clock. Fair enough. Like, the normies are very clearly the ones in the wrong here. They're very... Oh my god.
People of the internet with
so
that take.
weird.
Good job. Such a bad take that you even gave Ludwig a W. Wow. I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.
If you really want to go down a rabbit hole, there's a guy in Oregon who's taking on a retail store franchise. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of that, but let's be fair. Considering I make videos significantly longer than the thing I'm reacting to, that would have to be a weekend stream. I do plan on covering it, though, because there's a lot to say about it.
It's fucking pathetic, dude. What a clown. And by the way, so fucking spineless when Jellywig, of all people, is like, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And then he just didn't follow up on it. He's like, oh no, the room? Oh, the room is like not accepting my retarded rhetoric? Ah, shit. Yeah, you shut his trap real quick. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, again, as spineless as we could say Ludwig is, you know, he's not the one who folded under no pressure. Just saying, right? And what a time for your model to crash, Alana. Right? I've had that happen to me a couple times where it's just the model crashes in one, either the active or the inactive state, and it's like, well, damn, that's annoying. Yeah, the Lego thing is what he's talking about.
Oh, my fucking model's bugging out. I love that. Thank you, VTube Studio.
Okay, Havoc 2587 is just like absolute. Hold on, I'm gonna move my thing because that's a. Well, if I just stop talking for a moment, you'll be able to read it. But like at the very bottom of the chat, I mean top of her chat, right? Fucking Havoc 2587 says, "Bro can't beat a cold." Diabolical. Holy shit. Yeah, fair enough. Look at Sarkoman, he shut his trap real quick. Yeah, exactly, right? Because most of these people are not actually used to having any kind of like legitimate pushback, right? And they just fold under zero pressure. Let's see. Catherine says, today the rabbit hole got deeper because the police department released the unredacted body cam footage. Yeah, I'm aware. There's a colleague of mine at the place I work where he gives me like a fucking update every hour, and I'm like, my guy, calm down. I understand you're invested in the story. I'm invested in the story too, but I'm trying to get through this myself.
Jelly would probably fold him. Well, I don't know. I don't want to see people getting into fights over fucking Madoka magic, but like.
I actually agree with the guy too. To be perfectly honest, I do think Jelly would actually fold the guy. Didn't he get into like a fucking celebrity boxing match or something like that? Was it a slap boxing match or a boxing match? It was one of those two. Because oh no, wait, he did a slap boxing match with a slap chest match with Connor. Oh yeah, because I saw Iron Mouse react to that. That was a fun video.
My point is like, you're also a Smash director. Isn't, like, I like Smash. I do. I have Smash on Switch. I have it on Switch 1. I've played it as a party game with people, but I also know that there's a lot of controversy surrounding Smash and the people there being fucking actual predators.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of like...
Yeah, again, it's like... Alana recognized the joke from earlier with the Smash community, but she didn't recognize the pizza one. I was like, okay. Okay, fair enough. Right? Celebrity deathmatch. 4 shall enter, 1 shall exit. Fucking Ludwig of all people's the one to fucking make it out. They jump Ludwig and Ludwig just fucking anime protagonists them. Oh my god, hold on. Oh my god, that would be a really fucking funny video for like one of the AI video generators. Just like have again like a 3-on-1 where it's Ludwig versus these guys, and all of these guys get fucking folded by Ludwig.
Maybe you should shut your fucking mouth for a second and like chill the fuck out. Like you don't have to like beat people up over an anime. How would you say, like, oh, people who are...
I haven't heard that in so long, Kionella. Oh my god, that is a good way to describe that. Fold his clothes while he's still in them. Yes, I have a sneaking suspicion Ludwig actually probably could do that, looking at these three.
For fucking Smash players who are predators, you'll beat them up. No. Who's your main in Smash? I like Kirby.
Kirby is fun. Pikachu is also fun.
Kirby boy.
The Thunderdome.
I like how floaty he is.
Oh, Thunderdome.
Kirby bot.
That's even funnier, actually.
Self-report. Wait, I'm a self-report for Kirby.
Hello, Renegade
God,
Shuriken.
You would be. What? I like Kirby. Kirby's stupid. I'm not good. I'm just saying. I think he's fun. I'm a Falco man. That's pretty based.
How goes it tonight at Cosmic? It goes well.
Yeah, I do.
We're reacting to Alana. We just got through reacting to Kirsche. Alana's talking about Smash for some reason.
I mostly do Pikachu. I really loved Pikachu in the old Smash in 64. I liked them when I was a kid.
On 64, yeah, Pikachu was my favorite character. Pikachu and Kirby were my favorite characters in fucking 64. Let's see, the rippling stars as a twig could break them. Yeah. Again, it's like, people who've actually accomplished physical things don't usually have to, again, grandstand this way. You could definitely tell a lot about a person based on what specifically they grandstand about and how, right? Let's see, I've never played Smash or Melee. They're fun games. Personally, I do think Melee is the best of the games, but like I love the huge roster that comes with like a Ultimate. But let's be fair, my childhood is 64, right? Let's see. Always good react choice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Kirsche and SmugAlana usually have something that I can talk about.
Because you could mash your button really easily and beat people up, but...
Caparudi says sometimes I just want to give someone a high five in the face with the chair. And his name was John C. I'm sorry. As soon as you said that, I thought about wrestling. And I was like, oh god, the meme is in my head.
Again, I was a stupid kid, so what the fuck do I know?
Yeah. Alright, so that would be my take on the whole Ludwig, Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, and tourism situation. Ludwig is absolutely correct. Slime is an absolute... I don't even think he's like an idiot. I think he's an actual evil person, to be perfectly honest. And I think, yeah, the other two were objectively evil people, and Ludwig just took the absolute W there, right? And yes, gatekeep your hobbies, whether it be anime or anything else. Because if you don't, these quangos will fucking get in there and try to kick you out of it. Catherine Rudy says, my left nut is tougher than these guys. Fair enough, right? So that will be the end of the video. Y'all have a lovely day.